up, you guys? It's your girl Asia, aka Boss Speedy, back with another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing my makeup and I'm going to be answering some questions. This is not a makeup tutorial. This is more so just, you know, me doing my makeup while I answer questions. I won't be telling you guys what I'm doing or, you know, the products or anything. If you guys want a video like that, make sure you leave it in the comments and I can get a video to you. So if y'all watch my vlog, y'all would know that I filmed this same video, like the whole video. I filmed this yesterday and my clips were totally corrupted. There was no audio at all. It was literally like just fuzzy noise the entire time. So I did not want to do this over because, you know, I feel like the first time you do it, it's, you know, more natural and things like that. But I feel like this video came out pretty good, so I hope you guys enjoy. If you're new to my channel, make sure you click that subscribe button, because if you're not subscribed to me, then what are you doing? And to all of my returning bosses, thank you so much for checking back in with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and get into it. So yeah, basically I'm just gonna be doing my makeup and answering some questions at the same time. I asked you guys to ask me some questions on Instagram, and these are the questions that I got from you guys. So I was excited a little bit because normally I always get like the same type of questions. So I was really hoping that y'all asked me something different, and I feel like I got a few good ones in here. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is, how did you become so confident? It's taken me a while to get adjusted to wheelchair life. First of all, I think confidence is built. Like, I know when I was growing up, like my parents and especially my mom, like kind of instilled that in me from a young age. Like, I always remember just being like very confident, like as a child, you know? So, and I feel like that kind of stuck with me into adulthood. I mean, it's just like always a work in progress, because honestly, when I first got injured, I was not the most confident person either. So I feel like over time, as far as being confident in a wheelchair, I feel like you just have to like build that self-esteem up. Like, tell yourself that you're good enough. Tell yourself that you have a lot to offer. You know, do things that will help you to become more independent, because I feel like that's where I got a lot of my confidence from, was when I started to do things, because I felt like so worthless and useless for like the first 5 years of my injury. I didn't really feel that confident in my body. So definitely a work in progress, but as far as like just confidence overall, I would say that I'm pretty confident just naturally. But you know, just work on it, and also make sure you're not being around people who are putting you down or making you feel less than because you're in a wheelchair. Yeah, that wouldn't be a good thing, whether that's like family, partners, friends, anything, you know, your circle. Make sure that you have good people around you that are going to lift you up. Next question is, what is your relationship status? Now, I got this question like 5 times. Y'all nosy? No, I'm joking. But my relationship status, I am single. I have been single for quite some time now, and honestly, I'm not really mad about it. I do have someone that I care about, of course, but I'm not like in a relationship, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just vibing, like I'm chilling. Okay, next question is, how's school going? So I'm glad that someone asked this question, because I don't even feel like I updated you guys. I don't even know when's the last time I even talked about school or anything with y'all. So let me go ahead and tap into that. Y'all probably don't know this, but over the summer I applied to go to grad school. I was applying to go to a master's program for public administration, and I was accepted. But it wasn't until after the first semester I signed up for my classes. The first semester I signed up for analytical methods and some type of leadership class. Those are the 2 classes I was taking, and it was cool. I felt like public administration was like something that I had an interest in. But after the first semester, I started to realize, like, this is not something I'm passionate about, you know? Like, I have a degree in criminal justice and criminology, and while the 2 can go like hand in hand, I just kind of felt like that wasn't the path that I wanted to go down. So I talked to my my academic advisor, and I tried to like push like the dates back that I would take more classes. So I did that once, and then she reached out to me again, and she was like, well, if you push it back anymore, then you'll have to just reapply. So I was like, I don't know. So I thought about it, but then I ended up just messaging her back and telling her, like, if I'm still interested in this program, like later down the road, then I'll just reapply. So that was like something that was kind of big for me, because I don't like giving up on stuff or whatever, but I just felt like it wasn't what I wanted to do, you know? Like, I want to be a lawyer, so why am I in a master's program for public administration if I want to be an attorney, you know? So that was that. I ended up stopping school or whatever, and I just went ahead and applied for it to take the LSAT. I was supposed to take it in February, but I pushed it back to April. So now I'm scheduled to take it in April, and I'm going to take it this time in April, but I have a lot more time to like study and things like that. So that is what I'm doing right now. The next question was, what are you going to school for? Well, I was obviously going for public administration, but I'm no longer doing that. I'm pursuing law as of now. Okay, how are you mentally? What's next for you? I would say that I'm pretty good. 1 to 10, I would say like maybe a 9. And I say a 9 because I don't think I'm ever like a 10, you know? Very, very rarely. Not rarely, just I don't know, like who is really a 10? Like, you know, if you a 10, then disregard that, whatever. But yeah, I would say like I'm like a 9 out of 10 as far as like how I am mentally. I'm not like stressed out or anything right now. I do have like my moments where like I might cry about something, but normally that's like before my cycle starts. I'm always very emotional like right before my cycle starts. But yeah, other than that, I would say that I'm doing pretty well, thank God. Next question is, would you hire a housekeeper? I don't know. Like, this is my thing. I like cleaning. Like, cleaning for me is very therapeutic. Like, I don't understand people who don't clean. Like, I mean, unless you have like family, kids, and like you just get tired of picking up after people. But if you live by yourself, like, why your house not clean? Like, once you clean something, you should be able to like leave it alone, come back to it, and it's still clean. So I don't know, like I feel like just cleaning and organizing, like that's like my thing. Like I love that. Like I love anything I can organize. I want to organize it, you know, like paperwork, like shelves, like, you know, drawers. Like I just love organizing. It's like so pleasing to me. I don't know. But what I would hire a housekeeper for is to do these floors. I hate doing floors. Like literally hate doing floors. Like I just need somebody to sweep, vacuum, mop. Like that's it. And do my tub. Because I don't like cleaning my tub either. I clean it, don't get me wrong, but I really just, it's so hard sometimes getting in there because my tub is so deep. So I literally physically have to get in the tub. Like, mind you, I'm sitting on my shower chair in the tub, scrubbing the bottom of the tub. Like, that's too much. That's too much. Like, But yeah, I think I would hire a housekeeper to like do my floors and like my bathroom, maybe, because like, you know, my mirror is tall. I can't reach up there. So when I'm cleaning my mirror, I'm like basically cleaning like the bottom half of the mirror. The top half doesn't really get too dirty, thank God, but like I couldn't reach up there anyway. So yeah, I would hire a housekeeper for that for sure. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. I don't feel like that would have much to clean. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do. My dishes, they can do that. I'm not gonna say no to that. Hardest things about using a wheelchair. Let me see. I'm gonna give y'all 3. Okay, number 1, and these are not in order at all. Number 1 will probably be like worrying about like your chair. Like nothing can go wrong with your chair or it's gonna mess up your whole day, your whole week, however long it takes for it to get fixed. It's like you're relying on that piece of mobility aid to get around and just do everything. So if anything is out of whack with your chair, it's just gonna mess everything up. Like it's just gonna mess everything up. Like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I would say that, like, wheelchair maintenance. Okay, number 2, like accessibility, I would say. Like, for example, I feel like by now, like, when did they pass the ADA, the Americans Disability Act? Wasn't that in like 1970 or something like that? Why are buildings still inaccessible? I don't get that. Like, even my apartments where I live, I can't even park right in front of my building because there's no ramp right there. Like, it does not make sense to me. It really makes 0 sense, because if you think about it, it's not going to negatively affect anyone else. So why would the builder not think to just automatically put it right there for those who need it? Like, that's what irritates me. Like, for example, I'm gonna give you a little story time. Me and my friend, we went to the movies one time, and before we even left to go to the movies, we called them to make sure that, you know, the movie theater was accessible. Because I don't know if y'all have ever seen, but some movie theaters, when you go into them, it's like, it just goes straight down, like there's stairs. So for someone like me who uses a wheelchair, that's like a barrier, you get what I'm saying? So we called them before we left, like, you know, is it accessible? And it was. So yeah, we get there, we get our tickets and everything, and we ask the guy in the front, like, oh, like, where do we go to get to the theater? And he points to that direction. So we go all the way over there, and just for us to get there, and it's stairs. Like, sir, I know you've seen me roll in here. Why would you point me to the direction of the steps? I don't get that. But we come back to him and we like, oh, like, there's stairs over there. Like, how am I supposed to, you know, get to the theater? And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, the ramp is on the other side. Y'all, the ramp is all the way across the movie theater. For what? Like, why couldn't that place where the stairs are just be like some type of slope or incline? Like, it just does not make sense. And it further proved my point, because when we got all the way to where the ramp is, people are walking up the ramp, and it's like, why not just have a ramp everywhere? It does not make sense to me, because people that are walking don't mind walking up ramps, but people that use wheelchairs have difficulty going up and down steps. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my biggest pet peeve. Accessibility. Accessibility. Okay. And let me see. Number 3. I really don't know. Like, I'm just trying to think of stuff off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure there's like better answers or whatever. And these are not like medical related answers either. I didn't want to say that because I feel like everybody's spinal cord injury is different. Everybody's in a wheelchair for different reasons. So I'm just going to try to keep it like generalized, if that makes sense. Not being able to fit into like small areas, if that makes sense. Like, for example, if I'm out and I have to go to like a public restroom or whatever, because they don't always have like the handicap accessible like individuals bathrooms. They don't always have those in, you know, like everywhere. Like, a lot of times they'll just have like a lot of stalls and maybe like one accessible stall. But even then, a lot of the time people are using that one. So because of my chair, it's like physically impossible for me to even get into a stall and, you know, be able to close the door behind me. You know what I'm saying? Like, probably like not being able to fit into certain things. And that's coming from me. Like, I'm very like petite, like, but yeah, not being able to fit into like certain bathrooms, or like even like sometimes I'll visit family and I can't like fit into their bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So that can be kind of frustrating, because it's like, I want my privacy, but I can't have that because the doors are not made wide enough, if that makes sense. So I don't know, that was random, but that's like the only other thing I can think about at the moment. I'm gonna do my liner and my lashes and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm done with that. All right, next question is dating harder now that you're in a wheelchair? No, I wouldn't say that it's harder. I just feel like you have to find the right person, if that makes sense. Like, but that's like with anyone. That's not even just like because you're in a chair. Like, specifically for dating in a wheelchair, I just feel like you should find someone who is understanding, caring, and compassionate, empathetic of your situation. Just aware of you and your situation and how, you know, things may be a little different. Like, for example, when you're someone with a disability, you might have to let the person that you're dating know, like, hey, you know, I may need this or I may need that, or if we go here, I might need these types of, you know, accommodations. If someone's like trying to take you on a date, like, let them know, like, could you check to make sure that the place is accessible, like that I'm going to be comfortable in the environment, things like that. Like after a while, it's like it just gets so much easier. Like I noticed the people that I've dated in the past, like once they've been around me for a while, they just like pick up on these things. It's like second nature to them. Like they know, okay, I'm with her, she needs this, she needs that, I'm gonna be able to go here because, you know, it's 15 steps to get into the building. Like they just know. Like even like for example, I've been in the mall with someone and they just know to just like move stuff that might even potentially get in the way of me rolling through. You get what I'm saying? Like, and it's just so second nature. Like they probably didn't even realize that they were pushing the table out of the way for me. They just did it just because. I didn't even have to ask, like, hey, can you move that so I can get through? Like they just like, you know, got in front and just moved it. Just, I didn't even have to say nothing. So like just like little stuff like that. And another reason it's good to find someone that is like understanding of your situation is because like you might have to let them know, like in a situation where we're out, if this happens, I need you to do this for me. You get what I'm saying? Like for me, I have low blood pressure, I could potentially pass out. Like things like that are all important for them to know, because you don't want to put them in a situation where, you know, they don't know what to do or how to assist you and how to help you and things like that. So yeah, just find someone who's, you know, very caring, understanding, willing to listen, willing to learn. It's not so much about you, and you may feel like, you know, because you're in a wheelchair that you may need to adapt and do things differently to be able to date, but that's not true. If someone is into you, wheelchair or not, they're into you, and if they care about you, they're gonna do anything to make you comfortable, make you feel special, and make you feel loved. So yeah, don't focus too much on other people. Worry about yourself. Focus on how you're feeling and how they're making you feel. Yeah, I just went on like a little tangent, but yeah, to answer your question, is dating harder now? I don't feel like it's harder for me personally. I still have the same set of standards. I don't just talk to anyone because I feel like, oh, I need to just take what I can get. I'm in a wheelchair. No, I have very high standards. I'm not lowering my standards for anyone. I'm not letting someone slide, disrespecting me, playing in my face, or any of that because I feel like I'm in a wheelchair and I just need to take what I can get. Absolutely not. You can get on my face. Honestly, and that's how I feel about it. So yeah, no, I don't feel like dating is harder. I feel like dating in general is hard, but do I feel like it's harder now that I'm in a wheelchair? Absolutely not. Okay, next question is worst date story. Let me think about that. Worst date story? You know what's crazy? I don't even feel like I have a worst date story. You know what I'm saying? Like most of the dates I've been on were someone that I was in a relationship with. So, I mean, I don't know. Worst date story. I mean, I went on a blind date before and the person that showed up wasn't really like what I was expecting. I mean, like this was like a long time ago though, girl. And this is no shade to the LGBTQI whatever community, QIA community, but he showed up giving me like very much cis vibes, and I was like, not like sissy, but like just like that's my bestie, like go best friend, that's my, like that's what he was giving me. And I was like confused because when we were talking, it's like he was very like masculine and just, you know, so I was like, I was just so taken aback. Like I literally, I kid you not, I called my best friend while we were on the date and told her to come. Is that messed? I don't know if that's messed up or not, but he was like, yeah, like where's your friends? I want to meet your friends, this and the third. And I'm like, you giving me a little too much. I don't know. But yeah, would that be like a worst date? Like, I mean, he was being himself, so I'm not gonna like dog him out or anything. He just wasn't what I was expecting, if that makes sense. So from there on, you know, I just kind of like fell back. I cut it off. I let him know, like, you know, I don't feel like this is like a good match. But yeah, and the real crazy part is recently I was scrolling on my phone on my explore page and seen this man, and he done came out, and I said, well dang, I'll be dang. But yeah, like, it's no shade, and some people are cool with that. Me personally, that's just not my vibe, that's all. But who knows, I feel like that's like the only like date story that I feel like didn't go as expected, if that makes sense. The next question says, how do you drive? What was the process? I'm newly injured and would love to drive again. So my process was, and I don't know if this is for every state, but in North Carolina, I believe it's the same for like everywhere in North Carolina. So basically, you have to take a driving rehabilitation class, which I think is like a couple weeks or whatever. And that's where they like put you in the adaptive car, van, whatever, and you know, kind of teach you how to drive a little bit with hand controls. So you got to take that class first. I think it's a few weeks, and I'm not sure if it costs. I don't remember, honestly, it was a while ago. If it does cost, I'm sure there are agencies that'll help pay for that, or if it does, I don't believe it's that much. But yeah, they kind of like evaluate you. They kind of let you know the type of hand controls that you'll need, because there are so many different types of hand controls. Like the ones I have are called push rock, so I pull down to accelerate and then I push to brake. But they also have ones where you push to accelerate and pull back to brake, and they have ones where you pull back to brake and you push to accelerate, and they just have so many different types. So they try to like find what best suits you, because everyone's disability is different. So they find you the type of hand controls that you're most comfortable with, the type of car they would recommend for you to get, or a van or whatever, and they kind of like write up the prescription of all that you'll need. Like for my car, when I got my car modified, they added a backup camera because my car did not have one. They added the hand controls with the push rock. I also had to wear a chest strap because I'm quadriplegic, and at the time my balance was just very bad, you know, I was still recovering. They also had like a little knob to go on the steering wheel. Yeah, I don't use that anymore. I don't use the chest strap anymore. Lastly, of course, they added my wheelchair lift. The lift came about after like the driving eval and everything, because at the time I had already purchased a car. Like I was just ready to get on the road and drive. My intention was to drive that car, but once I took the driver eval class, I kind of realized like I don't feel like I want to break my chair down every time I have to get in the car. So they're the ones that actually recommended that I get the lift. They said it's easier on my back and my arms, and they also like were telling me like if it's raining, you don't want to be, you know, getting all that stuff and mud and everything on you. Like say you have somewhere to be and you're looking nice, like you don't want tire tracks on your outfit. So when she said that, I was like, okay, let me like reconsider. So I ended up getting a Mazda 5, and then they just made all of these modifications, and now I drive. So I can insert like a little video of me getting into my car, even though I think y'all already kind of know how I get into my car. If you watch my videos, you already know, but if you don't, I'll just insert like a little video of me driving and getting into my car. Okay. Has anyone ever been rude / disrespectful to you because you're in a chair? Y'all, let me finish my makeup so I can really get into what I'm gonna say. Okay, now, before I answer this, I want to make it clear that I feel like majority of these situations that have happened to me involving like other people and maybe them being rude or disrespectful, I don't feel like it was intentional disrespect. I feel like people are just unaware that comments that they make can make someone feel uncomfortable, or questions that they ask can make someone feel uncomfortable. So for example, like I'm out, you know, minding my business to myself, and someone just has to say something to me, but instead of just saying like, hey, how are you, like how's your day, whatever, they're like, oh you really Speedy Gonzalez out here or something, like, or slow down. Like, what? Like, stop talking to me for real, honestly. At this point, why are you talking to me? Like, don't be weird. I hate that weird stuff. Just say hey. If you want to make a conversation, just say hey. Like, how hard is that? And once the conversation is going, if I feel comfortable enough to let you know, like why I'm in a chair, not that that's anybody's business, but if it just so happens to come up, it won't be so weird. You get what I'm saying? Let me see. Another example is, okay, me and my friend, we're out at this like restaurant, you know, we're getting seafood or whatever. And I kid you not, before the waiter can even ask either one of us, like, what would you like to drink, or can I get this or that for you, the waiter literally looks me up and down and says, oh, what happened to your legs? What? Like, are you, like, you're dead ass right? Like, are you serious? Like, you serious? Who asked that? Like, that's so disrespectful. Like, what do you mean? Like, what happened to you? Do I know you? Did you ask me my name? Like, how dare, like, where does this audacity come from? I don't understand it. And like I was saying, I don't feel like a lot of times it's malicious. It's just ignorant though, for you to feel so comfortable to ask a stranger about something that may have been very traumatic for them. I don't have to tell a stranger my medical history every time one is just getting curious and just want to be nosy. For a lot of people that are in wheelchairs, a lot of times it's from a traumatic situation that happened. And what people need to realize is that don't nobody want to bring that up every time a stranger want to ask a question. Why do I have to relive this traumatic incident every time a stranger wants to know why I'm in a chair? It doesn't make sense. It makes zero sense to me. And I feel like it's very invasive and it's inappropriate. But once again, I didn't feel like he meant any harm by it, but it just was, you know, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And don't get me wrong, I'm very nice, like, you know, I don't mind answering questions and things like that, but it's just like, have some class about it. You know what I'm saying? Because what you're gonna do is catch me or someone else that's in a similar situation as me on the wrong day, and you're gonna get cussed out and then you're gonna be looking stupid. Okay, and I'm gonna give y'all one more story. This is something like totally different, but it's also equally as annoying. Is when I go out with someone else, because this normally doesn't happen when I'm by myself, but if I'm going out with someone else and the person that is like servicing us or trying to help us is talking to the person I'm with instead of me when they're speaking about me. Like, for example, me and my friend went to dinner one time and we both came in at the exact same time, and I even went up to the person that seats you, I think, what are they, the hostess, and you know, I spoke or whatever, and they looked right past me and asked the person I was with, does she need a table or does she need a booth? Who is she? Like, that's what I want to know. Who is she? Like, I know you're not sitting here talking about me in my face as if I'm not in front of you. Mind you, they were kind of stepped behind me, so I'm like, why are you talking to them about me? And I just came up to you and spoke and everything. And here's another example. One day I went to Subway and I was by myself. I wasn't even with anyone, but I guess the person that was behind me was standing kind of close, so maybe the person that was making the food kind of assumed we were together, but we weren't. And I was in front of them and I was waiting for them to, you know, talk to me so I could tell them what I wanted on my sub. And they looked right past me and asked the person, what does she want on her sub? What? Are you serious? I don't even know them. Like, what do you mean? What does she want on her sub? Like, I know you see me right here. Like, stop. Don't disrespect me. That's like my biggest pet peeve. And I feel like a lot of able-bodied people do this thing where they like kind of, I don't want to say put down, but they view people with disabilities as like children. You get what I'm saying? Like, they kind of view people with disabilities as kids. Like, they need to be looked after all the time, or they're incapable of making decisions and like just doing everyday things. Like yes, I'm in a chair, but I'm still a grown woman. Like, it's very degrading, you know. Like, I'm very capable of doing anything actually that I want to do, except maybe walk. But like, I'm very capable of doing, you know, pretty much about anything. So for someone to just like try to like downplay me like that, for lack of a better word, like, mind blowing. Like, once again, they might not have had malicious intent, but it's still frustrating and it's annoying, and I really wish people would stop doing that. Okay, I have 3 more questions. Favorite movie. So if you've been here for a while, I'm pretty sure you guys know my favorite movie is Avatar. And it's not just because the guy's in a wheelchair, because honestly, he's not even paralyzed in real life. But like, just like the movie, the story, everything, the colors, like the nature, you know, like, it's just a very well thought and well put together movie, in my opinion. Like, that's like my favorite movie of all time. Now, I don't watch it that much because it's 3 hours long almost, but that movie is just, I love that movie so much. And I still have not seen the second one, which came out in December, which is crazy to me, but I'm definitely going to see that, like, hopefully this week. So yeah, my favorite movie is Avatar. As a wheelchair user, how do you feel about traveling alone? I don't see anything wrong with it. I feel like traveling alone would be fun. I've never personally traveled alone, but am I opposed to it? No. Like 2 years ago was the first time I had ever flown on an airplane, or like really went, you know, out of the country or anything, and I think it went pretty smooth. My only concern would be, like, I know I hear a lot of people saying they don't like to fly because they're scared of their wheelchair getting damaged, and I've heard like horror stories about people's chairs getting damaged from people that are supposed to, you know, look after their equipment. Because if you didn't know, like, when you fly and you have a wheelchair, they put it with the luggage, like in the undercarriage or whatever. So when you, before you even get on the plane, they make you get out of your chair and get onto like an aisle chair, because the plane is so narrow. It's like you would never fit in like a standard wheelchair going up and down the aisle. So they put you in an aisle chair, and then they take you to your seat, and then they take your wheelchair away, which is nerve-wracking because like those are like your legs. You get what I'm saying? Like, so for anyone to mess that up or not, you know, care about it as much as you do, it's like you want to freak out, you know? So yeah, that would be my only concern, is my wheelchair getting damaged, because like I mentioned earlier, if anything happens to this chair, it's like, baby, I'm out of commission until it gets fixed, and I don't want to have that happen to me while I'm out of town, if you get what I'm saying. So, and just make sure that you're prepared and you have everything, you know, in order. And the last one is tips on waiting for the right one. Oh my, I don't know. I feel like that was in the question. You just have to be patient. I feel like when it's the right person, you'll know. It won't be forced, you know. I feel like you'll just feel it. It's like this sense of like peace and calmness will come over you. It won't be like some lusty situation where it's just sexual. Like, you'll know, like, when they're the right person, when they check all the boxes that are, you know, mandatory. Not saying that you should be picky, but you know, you have standards that you shouldn't, you know, drop for anyone. So when they check all the boxes, when you feel safe with them, you feel happy and loved, then there's that. But in the meantime, you just have to wait, and you can't settle for just anything just because you're lonely. Like, you'll be okay. During that time, let that be the time where you're doing the inner work, the self-work, so that when you find the right person, you yourself are ready to receive their love. Like, you would hate to meet the right person, but you're not the right person for them. They're the right person for you, but you're not the right person for them. So, you know, just in the meantime, work on yourself, you know. And I feel like when God sees that you're doing the work, he'll send you who needs to be in your life. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna finish doing my hair, and then I'm gonna close out this video. Okay guys, so I'm done with my makeup. Get into it. Very soft, natural beat. When I do this without talking, this takes me like 10 minutes to do. It's like so simple. But yeah, I love how it came out. I even added a little highlighter, which I'm shocked because I never even highlight anymore. So y'all see the little glow? And so yeah, this is the end of this video. I really like the questions that you guys asked. I think they were kind of different than the other ones I always get. So thank you guys for participating. You know, I'm gonna do another Q&A, obviously. I don't know when, but if you have any questions that I didn't answer in this video, make sure you leave them in the comments so I can answer them next time. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.